Confidence, style, and influence of the savvy CEO, I'll take you through a process where you can release your fears and embrace your femininity as a powerful tool to unleash your audacious confidence and win. This is where it all began for me, and I want to share it with you. Get your copy today at acradio.live. Bring out your beauty and confidence from the inside out. Buy this book today at www.acradio.live.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hi, I'm Alicia Couri, and I'm here to influence, educate, inspire, and entertain you with audacious confidence. Audacious confidence is the unshakable belief in yourself that's so bold and so daring that you live your life without limits or restrictions. So join me on my show, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence, so we can discover the unknown you. Call in to join the conversation at 888-565-1470. Let's get started. Hello, hello. Happy Monday to you all. Yes, I'm fiddling with Facebook. I'm trying to share it out. So, welcome everyone. I hope you're all having a fabulous Monday today. I am so excited for my guest. I know I say that all the time, but I am excited for my guest today. But I just want to give you a quick reminder. This is Your Signature Style, and it deals with personal development, uncovering your fears, how to be more confident in what you're doing, and that's available on acradio.live. You can go there. And also, I have my new book, Age Younger, 21 Tips to Make Your 40s Look Like Your 20s. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for joining last week. I know last week I was traveling all over the place, so thank you for still joining me last week. I'm still looking for it. So I'll find it, and I'll share it, and we'll get going. But in the meantime, I want to introduce my guest, and his name is Ealey III. And he is a family man. He has a wife and 5 children. Five kids.
Why you saying so 5?
5. I mean, I have 3 and it's a handful. You got 5. So
that's right.
Bless your heart. He's licensed, owns and operates his own supplemental benefits insurance agency. And Lester works hard to get small businesses the option to have employee benefits for their staff. He has been in the sales industry since 1998, and can I get a drum roll? Yes. He has announced his candidacy and is currently running and campaigning for the elected seat of the School Board District 2 in Miami-Dade County. His background includes budgeting, finance, sales, and marketing for his entire career. He has a vision to make the school board a transparent forum where the community and the board can truly understand each other's objectives. He wants to focus on getting the schools their proper funding, audit where the money is being spent, increase the salaries of all teachers, get programs back to the students like woodshop, auto maintenance, and arts and crafts, and to launch a massive campaign on bullying, or anti-bullying, I should say. Lester has been awarded the Rising Star Award by the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce for his work in the community. He also is a part of an annual movement in Liberty City that's called Don't Shoot, Let Me Live. This movement is to get children to put down guns and find other avenues to express themselves. His family has a history of being involved with education, his grandfather being a school board director, and his grandmother and great uncle being teachers. So he's been around the school system his entire life, and when he's not campaigning, working, or with his family, he loves to play chess, ride motorcycles, and travel. So, Lester,
yes.
welcome. Did I forget anything in that bio that you wanted to add?
Not even a little bit. I think you hit the hammer right on the nail with all of them.
Excellent. So, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get people on Facebook to watch, but it's saying they can't access the video. So hopefully you can go to AC Beauty Style and check us out live if you're on Facebook and you can't see the video. So you've never been in politics.
Never
been in politics. So what gives you the confidence? Because this show is all about audacious confidence.
Absolutely.
What gives you the confidence to step out from your business, because you have your own business, to step out and run for elected office?
Well, you know, Alicia, it's really been an interesting pattern, because that question sounds like a two-part. So it sounds like, what makes me confident enough to have no experience, no teaching background, no school board experience, and still run for the position? And then it sounds like, what's your confidence in general, right? That's kind of what I got.
Two-parter.
Okay. All right, two-parter. So the first part is, the first thing that made me run for, or made me want to run for the school board, is that my daughter was a victim of bullying in school. Right? My daughter is 8 years old. I'm sorry, 7 years old. You had to forgive me. I got 5 of them.
I know. Like I said several times.
Yeah. So
it's so funny. Just a quick aside. We're trying to remember the age of your youngest daughter.
Don't even. Let's not go there. My wife would be so upset with me right now. she would be so hot.
Okay, I won't mention. Forget I said that. Forget I said that.
But my youngest daughter, my son was a victim of it. But, you know, as a father, you know, your son being victim, you know, is probably not the correct thing to do. But, you know, just stand up for yourself, right?
But you're a little girl.
Yeah, you know, but you're a little girl, so dad has to protect. And basically what happened when I left, I didn't like the results of what happened when we had the conversation between me, the teacher, the parent, and the other parent, and the parent's child. So when I left the school, I'm so frustrated. I'm extremely annoyed at this time. And so I asked myself, who is in charge of policies and procedures for bullying in Miami-Dade Public Schools? And I found out it was the school board. So my initial thought process was to look online, look up the policies and procedures for school, for bullying. And so I was like, man, that's pretty on point. You know, like, you can't deny what they have written. The problem is its implementation.
It's not being practiced.
Right, it's not being practiced. So I was going to go down to the school board, voice my little opinion. But then when I read it, it was no need to do that, because there's not anything that they can do.
Right,
we
it's
have
already.
Exactly. So, and then I found out that it was an elected seat.
Oh.
And that is where the confidence came in, right? Being in a background history of sales and marketing and negotiation my entire life, that's just who I am and part of what I do, you know? So I could be selling forks, I could be running for school board, I could be running for president.
You know how to sell.
Oh, we're going to do it, exactly. So that's how that answers that question.
And then the second part of that question is, where does it come from in general for you?
Well, I think it was inspired by my grandfather. My grandfather was an amazing man, only an 8th grade education, but smart as a whip. To have an 8th grade education and to be the director of the school board in Emporia, Virginia, where I'm from, that's a big deal. You know, that's a very big deal. So you have to be respected. You have to have know-how. You have to have confidence. So being around him all of the time, growing up, you know, different things of that nature, it kind of just rubbed off on me, and the personality and the attitude, it just filtered right in.
That's
so
awesome.
That's where it comes from.
Great. Big shout out to Gramps.
Absolutely.
So, now that we've established that you have no political experience, and knowing that you really want to implement this anti-bullying campaign more,
absolutely.
How do you make that shift, though? How do you make that shift from, okay, I'm in my business, I'm doing this, now I'm going to run for school board? How do you
psychologically do that? Absolutely. Well, the first thing is that you have to have an interior purpose first. Right. So that's the main thing. So if the purpose or the cause is more important than what you got going on, then that answers that question, right? So my daughter,
you had a big why.
Yeah, exactly. My daughter being bullied and getting punched in the stomach for 30 days. I mean, that's not cool, right? So I don't know. A lot of people probably remember. I remember when I was growing up, in the mid-'80s, I was in middle school and high school and elementary school, and Nancy Reagan had a "Just Say No" campaign.
Yes.
It was iconic. Right? Just say no.
No to drugs.
No to drugs. And that campaign got so many kids to look at drugs differently. Now, some people still did it, obviously, right? But that just is what it is. But as far as bullying, if we can come up with some type of slogan or some type of action or some type of venue or participation where we get everybody involved in it. Yeah. It's not just at the schools, it's at church, it's at your grocery store. It's so ingrained.
It has to be holistic. It has to affect every area of your life.
Exactly. And so everybody has either bullied or been bullied before.
Yes.
At some point in time.
True.
Whether it's physical, whether it's cyber, whether it's emotional,
just by words,
verbal abuse. I mean, it's so many different avenues to it. So
yeah,
that's where the passion and that's where the why comes from, and why we feel we're able to do this. And it's not just bullying. There are definitely other different things, where my skill set can help the school board. Yeah.
That's where we're going next, because that's what kind of sparked. That was the impetus to spark this.
Absolutely.
This movement for you. But there are a lot of things as you started researching.
Absolutely.
And seeing, wait a second, where's the money? Where's it going? What's going on here? And so talk a little bit about what else you want to stand on, platform you're standing on.
Absolutely. So it started with the bullying, right? And so I said, man, I need to do some research on, what the school board is, because the most that I know that they do is make decisions on what the kids do. But it's way so much more than that. They control the funding. They control what schools get built. They control who gets the renovations. They control a lot of different things. That school board of 9 people is almost just as powerful or even more powerful than the superintendent collectively, right? Collectively. And then once you start going down the rabbit hole of things that need to be corrected, that's where
teacher salaries.
Exactly,
we talked about that.
Exactly,
we talked about teacher salaries.
I'm going to give you an example. There's no reason, if our teachers are, let's see, what's the word I want to use? If they are...
You're in politics now, so you got to be...
Exactly. That's what I said. I got to watch my words,
you gotta
right?
Think a second
absolutely,
before you speak.
And it's okay, all right? It's absolutely okay. But if teachers are the avenue, right? If they're the avenue, if they're the conduit to our children and to our future, why are we not investing in them?
Yes.
We invest in every other avenue and a conduit that goes throughout our country. We are trying to get oil here in the United States. We're trying to get natural gas, use that more. We're trying to do on or in-house drilling.
Right, so but our children are our greatest natural resource.
Exactly. You see where I'm going with that. And so now, when they are our greatest natural resource, if we don't provide the avenues in order to let them grow, then it's just not going to happen. And so a teacher making $35,000, $40,000 a year is not what we're looking for. Now, granted, because the school has a budget, and I realize that, we get money from the state, we get money from, different places, but the main source of funding is from the state.
Right.
And we have to be fiscally responsible when we're doing this.
Right.
So I propose that there is money somewhere, or I have to sit down and look at it, where we can get every teacher a minimum starting salary of $50,000. Now we're going to attract better teachers. Exactly.
Right.
And not necessarily say better. I'm not going to say better, but we're going to use teachers that everybody wants their children teaching. Or their children being taught to.
So we're going to take a quick break, but before I run off to break, I just want to thank Brooklyn's Original Pizza for providing dinner for us tonight here at the studio.
Thank you, Brooklyn.
Came out with some pizza and pasta and meatballs, and it was phenomenal. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and finish up here with Lester Ealey.
Absolutely.
Afraid of needles? Anxious about going under the knife? Do the words invasive surgery make you queasy to think about? After years of being mistaken for someone in her 20s, Alicia Couri, a mom of 3 in her late 40s, finally got tired of hearing, "You should write a book about why you look so young." So that's exactly what she did. In her book, Age Younger, 21 Tips to Make Your 40s Look Like Your 20s, she outlines 21 of her top tips for looking and feeling decades younger. These tips can easily be implemented into your own lifestyle so you too can make your 40s look like your 20s. Go to acradio.live to order your copy today. Hi, I'm Alicia Couri, and you know me from my radio show, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. If you lack confidence and boldness to really go out there and conquer the world, I'm here to share this valuable resource. In my book, Your Signature Style, Unlocking the Confidence, Style, and Influence of the Savvy CEO, I'll take you through a process where you can release your fears and embrace your femininity as a powerful tool to unleash your audacious confidence and win. This is where it all began for me, and I want to share it with you. Get your copy today at acradio.live. Bring out your beauty and confidence from the inside out. Buy this book today at www.acradio.live. Patricia Rogers, international speaker, best-selling author, and business coach, in collaboration with Unity in Service, presents Entrepreneurs Living the Dream 2017 on October 25th and 26th at the Signature Grand in Davie, Florida. Learn how to launch and build a business from America's business expert, Bill Walsh. How to change your habits and attitudes from success coach Eric Swanson, and the One Philosophy from Nancy Matthews, the visionary with guts. Pat Rogers will share how to transition from corporate America to entrepreneur. Lunch is included in the ticket price. For more information and to get your tickets now, visit www.unityinservice.net. You're listening to Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. Now, let's get back to the show.
I could do that.
Hey, we are back. Listen, if you want to connect with us, you can call the studio. It's 888-565-1470. You can call in and ask Lester any questions.
Absolutely.
I was just told that Facebook is having a challenge right now. It's not uploading, but we will upload the video later on tonight. We'll make another attempt to upload the video later on tonight on Facebook, so you guys can watch it and engage with us there. But I am back with my guest, Lester Ealey III.
Yes,
he is here in studio with me, and he is running for District 2 of the Miami-Dade School Board. He's very passionate about, anti-bullying and using his skills in finance and budgeting to help the school board run more effectively. So we were talking about teacher salaries before we went to break, and you were saying that we want to really attract, those teachers that want to teach, that have an excitement and a drive to make our children greater and better. And so raising salaries is one way that we can attract teachers. Oh, we got a caller. We got John on the line. John, hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
I am doing very well, thank you very much. Do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Lester, what are your views on bulk testing in the school systems?
You said on bulk testing?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Great question, John. Thank you.
That is a good question, John. I think that it's needed because we have to have some way of gauging our students. The frequency is what I don't agree with. The frequency is way too much as far as, kids, every time they come home from school, they have a test to take. My 5 children themselves, they go to Miami-Dade public schools. And I think it's a time during the course of the year where it's 7 days of straight testing.
It's like in March and April.
Yeah,
They're just testing.
It's testing. So to answer your question, John, I believe that it's effective because you do have to have some way to grade them. Maybe a final test at the beginning of the at the end of the year, and then maybe a midterm test to kind of establish what direction you can go towards the end. But as far as a test every month and all of those standardized testings, no, I'm not an advocate for that. And that is something that I'll be talking about once I'm elected.
Thank you.
Thanks for your question,
Thanks, John.
So, yes, again, back to the teachers and attracting, attracting them based on raising the salaries. What else can you see as that you also see that you can bring to the table?
Okay. Well, my skill set and what I am experienced in, a lot of my counterparts like to talk about what I'm not experienced in, right?
Well, you know, you're not a politician. Exactly. You're not a career politician. So
and that's what I think makes me so great for it, right? I think that my lack of experience or lack of involvement with the political game, and I use that word very strongly, that's in Miami right now, I'm not affected by it. Mm-hmm. I'm a no-nonsense kind of guy. If it makes sense, then it makes sense. What's in the best interest of my children is in the best interest of your children. There's no secondary education that my kids can get that your kids can't. Because I'm in the school board system, I'm not going to put my children in private school. I want to raise the standard for where my children went to school. I went to public school. I feel like I turned out absolutely okay.
Right. Better than okay.
Absolutely. It got me to the point where I can run for the school board, right? So that's what I think. Also, to answer your question, another way that I can help is, right now the problem that I see with the school board is that the school board does not have any transparency with the community. So they're not connected as far as what's going on. Now, them getting out and getting involved, feeding people and doing stuff like that and taking pictures and that kind of stuff, that's all fine and good. But what I mean by connected is, I don't believe that the school board knows what the community wants, and the community knows what the school board is doing. Right. Right, and what they're doing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so, Oliver. Okay. We got another caller. We got Oliver on the line.
Famous today.
Hey, Oliver. Welcome.
Thank you very much. How are you guys doing?
Great. Do you have a question for Lester?
Yes, I do, actually. Not being a native of South Florida, I heard the initiatives that you were doing in Liberty City. Not being a native of that area, why do you care?
Well, I'm not a native, and that is absolutely correct, Oliver. I have been down here since 2004, and I've lived in the unincorporated Miami, Alapata, Wynwood, and Liberty City area that entire time. And the reason why I care is because sooner or later, my children are going to be faced with these same issues. Somebody's going to want to put a gun in my kid's hands. Somebody's going to want to try to get my kid to smoke marijuana. Somebody is going to want my kid to skip school.
And your daughter's already been bullied.
And then she's already been bullied. So it just ties directly into it, Oliver, to be honest with you. You care so much because you can see where a lot of the children, when you talk to them, when they get about 19, 20 and they're in jail or they're already in the system, all they really wanted was somebody to talk to. Or all they needed was a strong voice. I'm not going to say a manly voice, right?
Right,
but
a mentor, somebody to mentor them.
Exactly. They just needed that in order to give them that direction. And that's part of the reason why I do the Don't Shoot, Let Me Live, because I love motorcycles. And I believe that for every gun that a kid picks up, if they put that gun down and pick up a motorcycle, then we'll be absolutely fine. Now, I'm not for all of that riding through the street with no helmet on. Obviously,
and
we practice safety.
Down
exactly.
The highway.
We're not on that, right? But what I am a full supporter of is safety, safe riding, and safe riding, whether it's a sport bike, dirt bike, cruiser, whatever it is that you're riding. If you're doing that versus shooting somebody, I'm all for it. So that's the reason why I participate in that, and that's the reason why I care, even though. And to answer your, one more thing, Oliver. I've been down here since 2004 now, so this is home.
That's his home.
This is home. I'm not going anywhere, right?
Right.
I don't know how long is the legitimate term where you're officially home, but this is home. I'm not going anywhere. This, Miami is where I am now. It's sunshine 365 except for the rain. I can ride my motorcycle almost year round. I don't have to put it up. So that's kind of where I am. I appreciate the question, Oliver.
Did that answer your question, Oliver?
Yeah, it did. We need more brothers like Mr. Ealey. We really do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So wow, this is going great. We're winding down, and you did mention something that I wanted to get to, that you're not a career politician.
Right.
So this run for school board is not a stepping stone for you.
It's not even a close bit. I'm not running for school board so I can become the school superintendent. I'm not running for school board to be the next state representative. If I am not elected to school board, then the next year that it's time to run for school board, I'm going to run for school board, right? That's just what I want to do.
It's about affecting change in the schools.
It's about affecting change in the schools because my kids go to these schools, your kids go to these schools, everybody's kids goes to these schools that are in Miami. If you could afford to put your child in private school, you probably would. But who can afford $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year?
Right.
And I have 5.
Yes.
That's $100,000 a year. That's $500,000 in 4 years, or 400,000. Guess so. But that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm not even in college yet. You know, so
that's just getting through.
Yeah, that's not an option. Even if I had the money, that probably wouldn't be an option. I wouldn't do anything like that. But what I'm trying to say is that the standard Miami-Dade Public School is one of the largest school systems in the country.
Yes.
And we do not have the funding that is appropriate with our size.
With the size of I agree.
Yeah, it's nowhere near close. It's a shame that the cheerleaders have to pay for uniforms. Yeah. It's a shame that the kids can't even get band instruments to play in the band.
Yeah.
The band was the cool thing to do.
The band is the cool thing to do.
You know, the band's the cool thing to do. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Let's just make some changes and things that where people really want.
And yes,
and
it makes it's effective. So your goal and your mission is to go in there and start seeing where the holes are that need to be plugged. And working on plugging those holes.
Absolutely. The first
filling back up the bucket.
The first thing that needs to be looked at is the finance.
Right.
Because all of the schools are ran on finance, and the finance dictates what everybody
everything
can do.
Else can do.
And everything else is a trickle-down effect from the finance. We go to the state, say, hey, Tallahassee, we're not getting our proper funding. We're not getting our proper funding. Why? What is it about it? Is it because we're all the way down here in Miami?
Yeah.
Is it because we have a high international student base? What is the reason why? Why are we not? Is it because majority of our kids are different ethnicities? Why is this the reason? What can you possibly justify to me why one of the largest school systems in the country can't get the proper funding?
Well, we're going to have you back on again, hopefully in September. And so stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, we're going to put it back up on Facebook later on today. But we are out for today. We'll be back on Monday. And everyone have a fabulous week. I will see you again next week. Mwah.
Thank you, everybody.
A wise friend always says to me, we have a finite number of minutes to spend. And just like you can only spend $1 once, you can only spend 1 minute once. It's your choice. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for choosing to spend some of your minutes with me on my show. I wish you love, health, and happiness to live your life with audacious confidence. I love you, and we'll see you next time.